Hello, welcome to 10 Months on Testosterone. I cannot believe I am nearly at a year. It's completely mind-boggling and so incredibly exciting. I've actually taken notes this time, so I feel very organized, but if you see me looking down to the right, it's because I'm checking my notes. My dog is asleep, so for once you might not have to hear my dog chewing a bone. Whoever does watch these videos, I don't know. My first update today, which I will start with because it's the most obvious, is I have been quite spotty over the last month, and generally, I would say I've had quite good skin. I've never had acne, pre-T. I had like one-off spots sometimes, but I eat generally quite well on the whole. So usually my skin is quite good, and I've got good genetics for it. But as you can see, this beauty. I've also had one there. I got one here that I've got a spot patch on right now. And this actually looks way, way better than it did like a week ago. It was literally like here I had three like I mean yeah, there's still see the redness, but it was like it kind of looked like acne. Really, it was pretty enthusiastic for like most of the month. I've now started a proper skincare routine, which I've never done before, because I was kind of getting to the point where I was like, I need to try and help my skin out a little bit because obviously the increased oil from testosterone plus hormones doing their thing were obviously having an impact. So, yeah. Sorry, I just paused for 1 second because I heard my neighbor. Um, I get very distracted. Um, but not the end of the world, you know. That's really kind of the first like negative side effect you could say, but it's not even a side effect. And you know what, in a way I can be like, oh yeah, you know, I'm going through I'm like a teenage boy, great. But no, it's fine. It is what it is. I was kind of hoping I could avoid it, but yeah. But anyway, moral of the story is you might need to start doing skincare even if you didn't before and were fine. But it's improving now, so it's good. What else? Yeah, exciting thing. I've had it 2 or 3 times this month where I have passed after having a conversation with somebody, like a short interaction anyway, without trying. So that's been kind of a first experience really because in previous months I have managed to pass to be seen as a guy, um, but I've had to kind of be very consciously aware of lowering my pitch, lowering my larynx, really consciously controlling my voice and my mannerisms to kind of come across as masculine as I possibly can. So the fact that I've passed 3 times this month without actually thinking about it, I was kind of just assuming, oh, they're gonna see me as a woman, but like it is what it is. I think I was at work in two of those contexts, so I was kind of just like I tend to have my like people pleasing voice on at work, and therefore I'm quite familiar with just being seen as a woman. And I did actually yesterday. Somebody did like outright just find a reason to say that I was a woman. I was like, great, cool. But it's the percentage is shifting. It's still mixed in terms of how people see me, but it's shifting in the right direction, and that is incredibly, incredibly affirming and euphoric, and it's amazing. So that's really, really good. What else have I put? Um, in terms of my voice, I don't know. I'll be intrigued. I always upload the video and then watch them side by side compared to my last one. Or watch my last one compared to this one. So actually, I'm not too sure at the moment because it's hard to tell without the comparison. I am still getting voice breaks. Not like terrible, but if I try and like use a fairly high pitch, that's when it tends to break. It's not terribly stable yet, but that's okay. It's quite entertaining. Um, but I hope it's still lowering a little bit. We'll see. My low note is definitely pretty low now. It's A2, I think, probably my lowest note at the moment. I've put that on my Notion as well. I definitely don't speak usually at that pitch, but but yeah. Another thing which feels a bit awkward to discuss in a way, but I want to because I know that some people have a really hard time with it, is the period, which I will call the blood moon because that's what I call it, which is a reference from Terraria if you've ever played that. But I will say, the blood moon has been. It's not completely stopped, like just that's it. And I had 2 months with nothing, felt really, really hopeful, and then I had a 3 day one out of nowhere. But it was light, it was pain free, which, if you've watched my early videos, I said how I used to have like agony every month. Um, so I think I just want to throw that out there to say to people, like, give yourself time. It's going to take time. It's going to be a bit on and off for a time. It's probably not going to stop immediately. It does for some people, and we probably hear from them in quite a disproportionate way because they're like, "Whoa, it stopped completely," but it certainly doesn't for everyone. So yeah, I think I'm saying this as well because I watched Sex Education and what's their name? I can't remember, but they had kind of like a depressive episode after the period came back, and obviously fictional character in a way, um, but I also think it's important for people to know, like, be gentle with yourself. It's not immediate. Anyway, that's my ramble of today. I had to get something in there to ramble about. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm very, very excited to reach my 1 year mark in February. Must be 20th of February. Yeah,